Alrighty. It's that time again. Time to get started. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Go ahead and adjust all my scanners here. Looks like IBIO is popping. 22 million. RHC. What is this one? Also lower float. Decent volume coming in. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We'll wait till we get settled here. I do have some updates to talk about, but we'll talk about that once things settle down and we get more people in. And mostly just looking at LRHC and IBIO right now. It appears both of them have news as well. So IBIO, private placement. The private placement headline has been a very big hit or miss lately. Should be skeptical of it, but it could result in something. It's very coin flippy. The other one announces closing of initial funding. Okay. That's a solid catalyst. Closing funding means there's going to be less downward pressure. Makes sense the price would rise on that. Just from a fundamentals perspective, looks like the LRHC catalyst is a little stronger. And it looks like the price is responding accordingly. Yeah, very high volume. It looks like the float's low according to Thinkorswim as well, so I'm surprised that we're getting 1 million shares of volume on such a low float, assuming that's accurate. It is a death spiral stock, so dilution is very plausible here. And yeah, actually looking at the level 2, this is not a 1 million share float. The level 2 is way too thickly traded. This has been diluted. 1 million is inaccurate. Still very interesting, but just need to keep that in mind. FAED, how does that one look? It's kind of moving. I can at least take a look at it. There's a little bit of volume. It's still relatively light. No news on it either. Okay, that kind of seals it. So yeah, this high here is very critical, 130s. It's fighting here for a long time. This news makes sense. It would push straight up to this resistance. The higher float combined with the lower price is not really ideal. This makes me a little concerned. IBIO dropping a little bit after this 1 minute curl. Pretty sizable downward pressure. We had high volume on this candle as well. I don't really like to see that. Feed getting more volume now. Even my scanners are picking it up. But again, there's no news on it. This volume is still not super high relative to daily. Need to pivot away from this one. Good morning, Skivon. Good morning, good morning. For those of you coming in, if you could hit the like button, help me get this out to more people, I would appreciate it. No pressure, though. TVGN, I want to take a look at that. Yeah, that's too cheap. This is weird. So the price started spiking 10 minutes before the news came out. The news came out, well, it came out at 7:05 actually. Well, they probably announced it at 7, and this one just reported it at 7:05. But yeah, since this has news of the closing, the news is positive, so I would expect the price to be up. So any pullbacks are probably safer to buy here. Good morning, Telemann. Good morning, good morning. Gonna take a stab at this. I like this catalyst combined with the decreasing volume. Looks good to me. Breakdown, but this volume was still pretty light on this breakdown. Yeah, I saw that the government was doing some sort of rebuying thing. Yeah, I saw that. Hmm. I still like how this is lower volume on this pullback. Yeah, this looks like the natural pullback for a bounce point. But I am concerned that the volume is raising on this pullback. It still looks good to me, and I do like this catalyst. But maybe the move itself was just too quick. Yeah, not even 110s. I feel like 113, 114 looks like a more clean pullback area. Yeah, we'll see if we get a bounce here. Could be basing. I'll look at CETX. I'll take a look at it here. I'm going to focus mostly on this one, though. It looks like that one's holding up pretty well. Yeah, it's given back, not the whole move, but it's given back about half of it. I still do like how on these breakdowns it was low volume. The volume really came in towards the lows here, and we were seeing it recover both times. Could be accumulating. Could also be short covering, but I still like it. Nice surge, but this volume isn't super high on it. It's a good start, though. Okay, the spread is still very thick on this. I do like that there's lower volume on this pullback. I am upset though that, again, I timed it too early. FEED getting some momentum. Depression sets in, exactly. Well, we'll see if we get a breakout here or not. Really pressuring 22 again. Some good volume coming in again here. A little bit more than this one, actually. Yeah, I'm going to take half off there, just reduce risk a bit. I've been holding this and my timing wasn't proper. Still holding half. FEED did roll over, so that might be part of why this got more momentum too. A lot of pressure at the 125 area. Good morning, Avatar. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Bit unfortunate with that. I had a sell order at 128. I was 1 penny off from getting triggered there. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut it. It's taken too long to break through 127. So, not a great trade. My entry was a little too early. My drawdown was roughly $40 at the low, and my highs were around 15, 20. So, I was more exposed than I had for profit there. If any of you have been observant, you've noticed that my exposure was much higher, and that is because today I went ahead and adjusted my sizing, increasing it a little bit. If you can look here, this was my results from yesterday. You see, I only spent about $1,000 for 3 trades. So I was only using about 1/5 of my capital, which is a bit low. So I decided to increase my sizing. That's why today's trade, you saw there, I was fluctuating more. So I had more shares in the trade. So let's go ahead and log this, and you'll see how much size I actually took here. And it did end up breaking out after I sold, so that's... Oh, that's frustrating, man. That's frustrating. Okay, well, it is what it is. Honestly, the fact that I managed to recover from down 40, I should be happy for that. Yeah, when did I sell? Did I sell like a minute before? Sold at 7:36. Yeah, so I sold 1 minute before it would have broke out. I only missed out on 2 cents, but it's just so frustrating when you sell right before. Oh, that's frustrating. Okay, so go ahead and log this here. Volatility. I'll be at like a 4. Calculator for this. Let's see. Yeah, so barely any real profit from that trade. I'm getting 11. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? So I got it wrong again with the calculating. Why is it still giving me an incorrect value? I had the same issue yesterday where I'm logging the limit prices. My apologies. $22.5. Okay, well, this did round up to 23. Yeah. Okay, so that was 22.5. It's 23.6. Yeah, I don't get how. It's weird. Yeah, I'm looking at... So I'm manually doing it. So I can go ahead and share my actual orders here so you guys can see what I'm getting confused with. So I took 2 entries here, 2 exits here. Right, so naturally you'd think since these are about the same, these are about the same. I'm adding these together, divide by 2, add these together, divide by 2. And actually you can't see because I have this up. My apologies. Okay, so I'll go ahead and close this. So here is my order entry window. I averaged these 2 together and average these 2 together and then just subtract the difference. But for whatever reason, I'm not getting the value that Webull had. And we had this yesterday. I did this yesterday, and after I went back and rechecked it later, it was valid, and I had entered these metrics wrong. No, I don't think it's price improvement, because it was a pure calculation mistake by me last time. Yo, you like the 9 MA. As long as it stays above, you stay in. Even now, LRHC is a hold. Yeah, my issue was that I was overexposed from the start because I entered too early. So I was really just wanting to cut the trade. Honestly, it was a mistake entering at the price I did here. If I was going to enter for this, I really needed to hold for the curl or bail. Holding through this drawdown was kind of mixing strategy 1 and 2, which isn't really ideal, because the result you saw was that I was overexposed and the profit was not equal, right? I was down about 40 bucks at the lows. I was up about 20 bucks at the highs. Had I held for this breakout, this final breakout, I would have been up about 30, but no, I was overexposed on this trade. Let me run the numbers through this one more time, see if I can figure out where I'm getting it wrong. Maybe I'm getting it wrong with the number bot. Okay, let me double check that, because I did that one in my head. I didn't manually enter it. No. 540. Okay, no, my number bought is correct. So it's not how many I bought that's wrong. Okay. Now, why am I getting a different number here? Okay. Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it. I see where the mistake was. All right. So I was placing a limit order, but the limit order is not the same as the fill order. I see. And that's probably what I did last time too that was wrong, because the numbers are next to each other. Yeah, that might explain. Let me plug this in. Let's see if this gets us closer to the actual number. All right, so 21.5. Big number. Very big number. Does this get us closer? 1153, 11.4. Okay, that's what it is. All right. Okay, so the issue is that my limit price is not the same as my fill price. And it shows the limit price here. Got it. Okay. That's the issue. That's why I messed up yesterday too, because I was looking at the limit price. I was not looking at the fill price. Yeah. Okay. All right, I understand now. Afterwards, I'll go later and remove the limit price on my positions. That way I don't confuse them going forward. All right. All right, that makes sense now. But yeah, this was a good quality setup, but honestly, considering how I did the trade, I think it was incorrect to add here. Rather just cut the loss and accept it. Even though it was a strong setup, me entering early here was really anticipating the next leg higher. So not really correct play in my opinion. Now, I can show it real quick just to clarify. So take a look here. They're a little bit apart, but I'll just show. So average price, these are the prices I should be using for my spreadsheet. This gives us a correct value that relates to what Webull was reporting. All right, these are the actual fill prices. But over here, these are, where is it? These are the limit prices. This is what I was using for my calculation. And this is simply where the order was getting placed at, not where it got filled at. So for example, if I want in a position, I'll put an order out with an offset above the price, not expecting to get filled at that price, but just simply so my order gets triggered. But these are not the actual fill prices that I get. So I was placing these limit orders in, and that was what was causing the issue. So honestly, pretty basic mistake on my part. Kind of embarrassed that I did that, but I'm just glad that I understand the situation now. You did the same thing when you started Webull. It's confusing. No, it's... I mean, I understand it now. It's... Maybe I should have been able to anticipate that sooner, right? And that explains too, because I went back yesterday. I was double checking my math, and I'm like, oh wait, the math works out. I just put the numbers in wrong into my spreadsheet, but I was wondering why I put the numbers in wrong. So when I did it again today, I'm thinking, man, am I just bad at math? Like, can I not calculate? Okay, I feel a lot better now. At least I understand why I was getting the incorrect values. Okay. I feel like an idiot. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yes. Back on track now. I am taking increased size today. You can see that my position size, I took 500 shares on this, partially because it was a cheaper stock combined with the extra percentage exposure. So that's why my position was much higher. Yes, Frederick, you're exactly correct. I'm just... I'm someone special today. Yeah, I didn't see any real catalyst come out at the half hour. I know I was messing with all that logging data issues, but I did not really see anything pop up on the scanners, and it doesn't look like there's anything there right now. So I think we're just sitting tight here. I liked LRHC for the curl. The main reason I got in this is just because we were having, again, this descending volume. Catalyst was strong. I thought the odds of a curl were pretty high here. My initial entry here was incorrect. I was too aggressive. Really, this would have been the safer one to buy into. I mean, in hindsight, of course, we knew that. But I think better would have just been to cut the trade, not add here when seeing the volume was continuing to decrease. Because the setup still looked valid to me. But if anything, I think either cutting the trade or just holding was more accurate. I gave myself more exposure by adding during this pullback. Guess we're just being patient. I just don't really see anything else. Can quickly go over some of the other top movers here. I've been watching CETX, but I'm not super interested in this. All right, there's no news on it in the immediate. Plus, the volume isn't crazy. To me, this doesn't feel like something I would be interested in. Let's see, icon. This one's just trending down. Yeah, there's nothing else really moving at the moment. I mean, I guess IBIO is still technically in play, right? It's still holding up decently. The volume did die down dramatically, but it's still holding up above 50% at least. Actually, I'm going to downgrade this. No, I'm going to downgrade this to A. Or no, to B+. The poor daily chart is not ideal, and the lower price. Yeah, I think that makes this a B+. It's not an A. Waiting for SATL to dip to 318. I can take a look at it since I'm waiting. Yeah, I mean, it's no news, relatively low volume. I mean, it's moving, and you technically even have large size, but like, there's just like, what is this? Just random blips. Yeah, this isn't really moving in the traditional sense. Very weird movement on this one. Do a quick little poll while we're waiting here. LRHC did end up curling back too, so I feel a little better that I didn't keep holding. Yeah, I still think I took the best setup. LRHC was the only stock moving. We had IBIO. We also had Feed, right? Feed was one that was popping up around this time. I didn't like it though because we had no news on it. Also, it was lower volume at the time, so I didn't really trust it. I'm surprised it actually moved at all, if I'm being honest. And this is a significant move, right? You look at this, right? This pop up, we went from 288 to almost 360. So like that's a pretty amazing move, but like, it just didn't hold up at all. It looked like a pump and dump to me. And PA $50 spread for a second. Wait, no, there's no way. $50? What? Holy crap. What is... I want to look at the spread. Let me see the spread on this. You mean 50-cent spread? Yeah, because it looks like it's like $1 or $2. But yeah, I mean, the spread's just way too high on this one. Yeah, it seems like most of you agree. This does feel like a slower market. Yeah, now it's around $2. Yeah, but I mean, this thing went from 25 all the way up to 53. I mean, even now it's at 40. Like, the fact you're getting 40 on the bid, and this was at $25. What, like... I guess this would have been yesterday. But yeah, that's a significant gap up. I mean, maybe I should at least keep an eye on this, just because this is a very strange move for no news. The fact that you're getting a bid that's actually holding it up at $40.60. It's significant. But, I mean, it's too edge case, so I don't want to engage with it. But I think it might be worth documenting or just keeping an eye on. After all, we don't really have a lot of other things to watch, so it doesn't hurt to at least keep it on radar, keep an eye on it. Hopefully we get something at the top of the hour here. I would say maybe we should be careful, though. Considering that the market seems to be slow, people could jump on the first thing that moves. Or maybe just people are leaving for the day. Hong Kong company. There you go. That's all you needed to say to have my vote. It all makes sense now, John. Chinese stock. Let's see what we get. Such a slow day. What's today? Friday? Yeah, maybe it's just Friday, honestly. It could just be that. Good morning, Grammy. Good morning. Only a single trade for me, and it's... I feel like it was the only opportunity, too. LRHC is pulling back. I think there's a chance that this could end up ranging and just recovering here. I took the initial pullback, which I thought was the safest. I don't really want to try it again here, but yeah. Wow, everything is really moving this morning. Yeah. Yeah, it's something. I do terrible on Friday, so I made it part of my strategy to reduce to 1/4 size. No, I mean, that's logical. I think that's a rational thing to do, especially if your metrics show that on Fridays you're not having as good of results. And it makes sense, right? At least I think that typically on Friday the market moves slower, so it makes sense to reduce size. No, everyone is waiting for labor news and the tariff decision to either buy or sell SPY. I mean, I agree with you, but I also don't think that the SPY is why can't I not speak? Necessarily, I cannot speak today. Necessarily indicative that small caps are going to move. Sound like Daffy Duck with all the stuttering. Or, no, that's the pig. Yeah, that's the pig that does that. Yeah, are seeing some volume coming through here now. I definitely don't want to touch this. Chinese company combined with very suspicious action, right? There's no news and this thing's up like 100%. Definitely don't touch this one. Or, I mean, you can if you want, but I'm not touching this one. This one definitely screams red flag to me. I mean, you even look at the daily. Think about where it is on the daily right now. On the daily, we're kind of gapping up to like here. That's a huge gap. On no news. On a Chinese company. On light volume. Right? The fact you're gapping this big on, what is this? Like 1,000 shares of volume. Man, where's the volume? I know it's Friday, man. Yeah, seeing stocks gap 100% on 1,000 shares of volume. That's pretty crazy. Now, I'm no short seller, but this would be something to maybe just take like 10 shares short or something. APVO popping. I'll take a look. Okay. Okay, you know what? That's fair. This is fair. All right. We do have news as well. Secures 60 million equity line of credit. Could be good. Could also be a red flag. Depends how they got the money. No, this is worth looking at. I'm skeptical because of the catalyst. Recent reverse split. Yeah, I see that. It's a very low float. Is a death spiral stock. That's a demerit. pretty big sell-off recently. Private placement means they don't have to dilute the shares, which is good. I'm just afraid to really mess with it. Nice initial pump, 270,000 volume, mostly green. Ross is somewhere in there, definitely. Yeah, Ross is, I mean, if he's not in this, he's definitely watching it. 100%. There's no question. Whoa, you just caught 256 to 378. You're a risk taker, man. I mean, the good stuff. Buying into this with this news catalyst, this could go either way. I suppose the low float, if you identified it quick enough due to the reverse split, you could have maybe capitalized on that. No, you're bad. 235 to 256, then 1302, 1378. No, that's still solid, right? That's what? That's like 80 cents or something. More than that. That's like $1. Yeah, this one's a real gamble though. You do have a gap fill in the daily. It's 1660s or so. You're a little ways away from that, so you've got room to run. I'm not buying this here, though. I think it's way too dangerous. FLYX also moving. Pretty big volume spike here. Announces offering. Why would this spike on an offering? 665. Really? They announced an offering significantly above the price. That's fascinating. Okay. And price surged on that news. I mean, it makes sense. If the company's saying, hey, we think this is what we'll sell at, then anybody here is already... Anyone who was afraid of an offering here would get conviction. Makes sense. I wouldn't really want to buy here just because you're literally buying into... They literally just announced they're diluting here. So the company's likely selling at the moment. Yeah, so they announced the offering plans yesterday. That's what caused this major tank. But then whenever they announced that the dilution was going to happen at 665, which was below where the price was at. Very interesting how this one worked. Yeah, I can't in good faith buy this. I'm literally buying knowing that there's an offering. And it's big too, right? 2 million shares. That's significant to overcome. You're nowhere near that with this volume. APVO, just looking at that one as well. Looks like it's pulling back. It's holding up pretty nice. Very high volume. But the fact that it's holding is very, very interesting. So we're breaking down. Volume is lower here. If we pull back, the problem is it's a private placement, so it's very hard to interpret if this is valid. I suppose if there's a really clean entry, then it would be fine, but aggressively buying here, I think, is a no-go. I did try to get in there. Did not get a fill. Probably looking for like 1020s. Stabilizing here. It might just bounce. If it doesn't, 1020s looks interesting. Actually, even now, I'm not even sure if 1020s. Maybe like 10 teens. This was a pretty big rug, right? 13 down to 1120. So almost a $2 rug. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this one, but I'm going to pivot back to FLYX real quick. Still not interested in a trade here because I am buying above the offering price. So just to look at it. Very interesting how despite the offering being down here, the price ended up going about 50, 60 cents above that. So maybe people shorted here anticipating, and they were squeezed out a little bit. I still think it's dangerous to buy into this, so I will not engage. Very interesting movement on it. It is worth saying the longer this stays above the offering price, right, the closer you get to 2.2 million shares from collective volume, the more confident people will start to become that the dilution is done. We're still pretty far from that, but worth keeping an eye on the total volume. LYX resistance at yesterday's close. Needs to break it. I mean, I'm honestly just surprised that it's even holding where it is. Right? You have offering headwinds that you're directly dealing with right now. So the fact that it's even holding at this level is already pretty surprising to me. Good morning, everyone. How's the market looking? Morning. The market is market morning. No, it's pretty slow today. It's very slow. Only one trade for me. And I just haven't really... I saw one setup on APVO I was looking at, but I didn't get a fill on it. Throw out another poll here while we're waiting. Wish the fees for FLYX wasn't so high. What do you mean by fees? Like, oh, for like shorting or something? Yeah, borrow fees, yeah. I assumed as much. Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised. Considering this was moving yesterday, it would already have a lot of attention. The fact that it was holding up here also suggests that there is some selling pressure. Or not selling pressure, there is short pressure. So yeah, there's probably people that are short here, which is increasing the demand for shorts. Makes sense that the borrow rate would be so high. Also, now that they've announced the offering, probably people want shorts. That way, if the price goes up to like 750 or something, that they can short it. Just open stream. Exponential gains today. So I increased my position sizing. Considering that yesterday I didn't even use 10% of my capital, I increased the exposure per trade. I basically a little more than doubled it. And you can see I had a bigger hit today. This was actually not a great trade, too. The max drawdown was 40. Max upside was about 30. So not really ideal. Slow mornings are the reason I have been sleeping in a little longer and waiting for the open. Hope it picks back up soon. Yeah, I'm surprised it's this slow. Yeah, it is what it is, you know. Not much else to really say. Yeah, I don't trust FLYX above the offering price. APVO still looks interesting, but it's kind of gone sideways. The fact that we had this very nasty rug probably has spooked a lot of people. And also, the news on APVO is questionable. Private placement could mean any number of things. Could be good, could be bad. Daily chart doesn't help. Yeah, it seems the majority of people have not taken a trade either. And I don't blame them. Okay, APVO, we might see another leg down. I'm not going to buy here just because this has already shown a history of making very big flushes. Plus, this is consolidated a while. So, I won't be buying a dip. Yeah, I agree. Opening bell has offered some good opportunity as of late with good direction, with good discretion. Yeah, I've noticed that too. It seems like lately market open until like 10:30 has been giving more opportunity than pre-market lately. It just doesn't seem like a lot of catalysts have been moving the stock, and I've noticed a lot of times when I'm managing stocks during the day that I've been seeing stocks halting up a lot. My scanners will pick them up. Another 178 to 191 on APVO just now. Good stuff. It's a scary one though. Yeah, yeah, you're crazy, dude. You're crazy for trying it, but I mean, if it works, it works. Just, you know, make sure you're being careful. I don't trust this. Considering this had a $1.82 flush in 1 minute, I absolutely don't trust this for a simple kind of grinding play. You need to be looking for a bigger swing, in my opinion. Also, if you guys are liking the stream, do me a favor and hit that like button. Help get this out to more people. I would appreciate it. And if you're new to the stream, maybe consider subscribing. That way you can watch me sit here and take one trade the next day. SXTC yesterday, it was a wild. Madaz lost 300,000 shorting it on the bounce after it crashed 6-3. Didn't think it could reclaim. It made new highs. I mean, saying lost 300,000, that's a pretty big claim to make. I would respectfully say that I don't really believe you, but in the off chance that you're telling the truth, I'm sorry to hear that. How did it do? Holy crap. Wow. I mean, this looks like just pure manipulation to me. Right? This is not organic movement at all. Right? Very controlled upward and downward moves. This is a What is this company? I gotta know. It's just like a Chinese company. It looks very strange. Would you look at that, folks? It's a China company. Why am I not surprised? Of course. No, yeah, this is very clearly manipulated. Like this isn't organic at all. Well, I'm sorry if you did lose money. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it just goes to show with Chinese stocks in particular, got to be really careful with them. They're very prone to manipulation. It's a good thing the SEC's on top of it. But yeah, we got 3 minutes till the half hour. Fingers crossed we get something that's more interesting to look at than paint dry. Yeah, from someone named Where's the Soup 8220. I do question how much money you actually have to trade with. But I mean, it could be a throwaway count. You never know, you know? Guess we're just sitting tight here, waiting for the top of the, not the top of the hour, the half hour. Oh, wait, you're not saying it was you, you're saying Madaz. Okay, so you're saying it was someone else. I see. I misread that. My apologies. It was not me saying it was this trader yet. Yeah. My apologies. I misread that. Yeah. Lost 300,000. That's why you gotta be careful, you know? That's why anytime you see me hesitate with a Chinese stock, it's not because I'm racist, I swear. Well, maybe a little bit racist towards Chinese companies, but like not against. Maybe I should shut up. But no. Yeah, I'm very careful with Chinese companies, in particular. China, Hong Kong, sometimes other ones like India, a little bit less so, but yeah. I wish you had that much. No, but just like from my perspective, I misread it and I thought you were just coming in here casually like, yeah, I lost 300K yesterday shorting the stock. Real bummer, dude. But no, yeah, that's rough. Lucy moving without news. You can take a look at it. Yeah, it does have volume. You're correct about the no news. You could argue continuation play from the last few days. The fact this had news a day and a half ago makes this a little more valid. All right, this is a clear pattern setup. How much shares are in Lucy? 5 million, so it's a relatively light float, assuming no dilution. Lucy is very beaten up, though. Level 2's pretty thin at the moment. APVO isn't dropping below the daily support. A bit surprising. Well, it's a private placement, so it, again, really, anytime there's a private placement, I'm always kind of open to anything. So it could just be the case that the private placement was at that price. That would be something you would need to look into the filing to really get more clarity on what to expect from it. It is, yeah, you did make a good note, though. It does appear to be holding around that level, around 1080 or so. That is a valid observation. Watch it drop, Lucy, in 532. Yeah, here we go. Pump and dump incoming. 100,000K pump. How much will the dump be? They did a reverse split recently. They've done so many. Yeah. No, but a lot of these stocks we've been seeing lately, I don't know if you've noticed. Like, even look at the daily. Actually, I'll pull it up here because I think it's... That way we can actually see it better. The daily, you can see how we've just been declining on Lucy. APVO. Huge decline. IBIO. IBIO is actually a little better. I know this one historically has been really bad, though. Yeah, so, like, historically it's been bad. Although, I guess I'll give more credit because the last year it's been holding up better. But a lot of stocks, it seems like, have been holding up poorly. APVO did actually break through just now. So, yeah. Guess that 180s level was no good. All the stocks that had news last year about private placement did a nice run up. I don't know why it doesn't happen now. I mean, there's two reasons, realistically. Actually, I want to watch this because this could turn into something. My apologies. I want to just see if this continues lower. This could become valid. Interesting to note, this volume is extremely high, right? This is almost comparable to over here. Needs a little more to be comparable, but it's about 2/3. It's possible that the private placement happened, someone immediately sold, they stopped selling and paused, and now they're resuming. That is my running thesis at the moment. So I'm curious how much selling pressure we're going to see here. Very low volume on this breakdown. I don't trust it to bounce here. This volume is super high. Yeah, it's kind of based out a little bit. To your point, though, let me reread it, refresh myself. Private placement. So private placement did well because there were a couple stocks that had huge moves. So earlier last year, a lot of stocks were starting to follow that trend where if it had private placement, it didn't matter how good or bad the news was. It was just simply the theme of that time. So anytime private placement happened, people would just jump on it. Didn't matter. Shorts learned to not short that. Longs learned to buy private placement. The reality now is that that theme is gone. Private placement can be good, depending on the conditions of it, but oftentimes it is bad for the shareholder, which is why price typically goes down. We've seen a couple exceptions, and those are whenever the private placement is good for the company, good for the shareholders. But typically, private investors want to get a good deal when they do a private placement. That is my interpretation of the situation. This has actually made a little bit of a bounce. What, like 40 cents, 30 cents? Something like that. Nice little bounce, but way too dangerous. Way too dangerous to buy into it. Lucy getting more pressure. All right, so we saw the initial breakout, and we just I thought it was just going to roll over, but seems we got more pressure. No news still, so this could just be a follow-up. Yeah, this could just be a follow-up to this daily setup, right? You had the news from a day and a half ago. This is follow-through. It's logical, and maybe with nothing else on watch, this is just the best option. But it still doesn't feel that high of quality. $2 breakout for Lucy. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not super bullish on it. It does have the technical setup. It does have the catalyst from a day and a half ago. There are things in place that this could run. But given how slow it's been, given how light the volume is, this volume is picking up a little bit, but it's still relatively light from the first leg. That's bearish to me. I think it's better for me to just sit and watch. If this pulls back on light volume, I'd be more interested. Not interested here. No good stock today. Very boring day. Yep, that's my read too. I took one trade and honestly it was a B. Right, it was a B quality setup. I didn't think it was I don't think it was A quality. Yeah, just nothing really moving today. It could be because it's Friday. LRHC is breaking out again. This is what I was saying earlier. I thought this was going to be range bound. It does appear to be doing that. We were having some volume coming through though. This is quite high volume, more than actually over here. This volume is relatively high. OPAD, I'll take a look at it. This is interesting. Here you have kind of spread out volume. This one is very concentrated spikes. Yeah, no news immediately here. It's the catalyst from yesterday that's driving the move. But interesting to see how it gave the entire thing back over like 8-10 hours, and now we're seeing the spike back. It's a bit difficult for me to judge. Daily's also kind of whack. This is a very weird daily chart. All over the place. Yeah, this one's a lot of information. I'm not really sure the best way to assess it. Could move. I think this one has potential, but it's a bit difficult for me to read it. Very interesting pick. Yeah, APVO still sitting at the lows. Right, it's basically giving back the whole move, so not really interested in that. To pivot back to FLYX, I'm really surprised how well this is holding up. Right, we're holding significantly above, right? 665. We're holding significantly above the offering price. Very interesting. LRHC, pretty big pullback. Yeah, I'm still kind of in the expectation that this is just going to range bound. The catalyst on this was solid. I expect that it's going to be remaining at a higher price than it was before the news. So I'm expecting it to just keep ranging here. I'll go ahead and give one final shout out before we wrap up for the day. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, maybe consider subscribing. I am going to be streaming every day, showing all my results, win or loss, for this Webull account. So if you're interested in that, you can maybe subscribe. Only one trade so far for me today. Very slow day. No easy way to put it. Man, I'm a terrible marketer. I just kind of say it like it is. I'm not trying to spice it up or sweeten it up. APVO bounce. Yeah, I do see that here. Yeah, I don't trust this one at all. I definitely don't buy a breakout. I only buy flushes here. Slept in. Guess you didn't miss much. Yeah, flip-flop. You missed it all. Stocks only pop and dropped all morning. There was nothing that really held up at all. Well, I mean, we do have FLYX. This one is still holding up decently here. This is the only one I think that is still holding up decent. You could maybe argue LRCHs as well. LRHC is. This one's also holding up okay. Yeah, I hope you're doing okay, Flip-Flop. Take it slow. You know how it is. Man, I'm like slouching. Like I'm just so uninterested in this market right now. Needing to like constantly stretch every few minutes just to keep me interested, engaged. If you hit the like button and subscribe, someone is guaranteed to make money. Oh, I can't say that. No. The only person guaranteed to make money in the market is the market maker. That's the only person that's guaranteed to make anything. AMEX is a little bit of a spike. It has news as well. But it's a cheaper stock, so I'm not interested. Man, I miss the old days when we could get 50 likes on a video. Now we're struggling to crack 30. Which is fine. It's a slower market. I was gone for a while. I'm not really expecting to get that many likes right now. I gotta earn it, you know? If I'm not here every day, I took the break. And if I'm not really showing good results, I don't really expect to get a lot of publicity from that. Yeah, we never said anyone on the chat. Fair enough. That's fair enough. Yeah. You got me there. Even AMEX, look at how much this has just kind of bled down. A lot of these stocks are just death spiral. OPAD, I did good aftermarket. $300 on 500 shares. Very nice. It's waking up again, slow crawler. Yeah, OPAD, I'll be honest, I genuinely don't know how to interpret it. This one has a lot of things going on that are unusual, right? From the daily chart looks all over the place. And even from after hours, we had the very nice move up, sold off very heavily throughout the morning. And now we just get this very nice momentum back up. It certainly seems like it's in play. I have a really difficult time. I'm having a really difficult time assessing it. The potential's there, right? I would totally agree that there's potential here. It's just this is a very difficult one to read. PAD out at 228. Good stuff. I mean, hey, if you rode this, good stuff. It's pumping off the Trump news. What are you guys thinking of the setup, by the way? Do you like how I added the daily P&L so you can see my account, how much my account is up, as well as the account balance? I feel like it'll help you guys. That way you can actually you can more transparently see how I'm doing in the account day to day. I feel like it helps out. Then I also got, of course, the individual positions. You're in at 228, out at 234. Made $12. Something about them buying $200 billion in mortgage bonds. It's a lot. Yes, looks better? Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it looks better. Not only just from like a visual, but also just a storytelling kind of engagement. I think it helps you guys better see the process, see the whole system. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm probably not trading OPAD. I'm probably just going to wait till 9, see if we get anything that moves. And if not, I'm probably going to bounce. I think it's great. More engaging to see the account balance. Yeah, definitely. You can see the journey, you know, right? If you don't see the account balance, you can see them up like $11, but what does that mean? When you know the account had 5,000 in it and you see it's at 5,015, you can kind of see the culmination of the journey. The great journey is nigh. We need posters in the background of girls in bikinis riding hot rods like, hold on, this guy's cooking. Let him cook. We might be able to get more viewers on the channel, guys. I think we've cracked the code. We don't need trend lines and moving averages in the background. We need pictures of anime girls and girls from like the 1980s in bikinis riding on motorcycles. Yeah. That's how we get the real viewers. Let him cook. Yeah. Where's my Bugatti? It's in the garage. I can't show it right now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. My Bugatti's in the garage. It's next to my Ferraris. I have 2 of them. And, you know, well, the one's not even with me. The one is on my yacht. Yeah, I built a ramp on my yacht that lets the Bugatti and the Ferrari park in there. Let me pivot to Grok. Yeah. I'm more of an Anthropic guy myself with Claude, but Grok's okay. I've spent way too much time on Grok, by the way. Well, no, I think AI is a very powerful tool for good. No, I think they're very useful, especially with trading. I've talked with AI extensively about my strategy, trying to break it down. No, I think AI is very valuable if you use it right. You can't rely on it because it kind of sucks for that. But it's a good guide. It's a good assistant. Soup. I'm subbing to those channels now because of you. Oh, oh. Because of me. You like Claude as well? The best for vibe coding. Yeah, I've been trying to learn to code. I've made a couple games. I'm actually thinking, I don't know if you guys would be interested. I'm currently thinking about making a trading game where you kind of like trade and get more market. The whole theme would be basically you learn more about market makers. You eventually get like backside orders, so you can see the order flow, and then you basically eventually just become the market maker and take over the whole thing. Oh, you all use it for good, that's why. Yeah. It would be cool. I mean, I think it'd be interesting, but I don't know how many people would actually want that. Plus, it'd be a lot of work to do something like that. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. You would love that for your kids? No, I think it's a cool idea. And you're stupid ass learning the market. Yeah, I mean, I think we're always learning, you know? Doesn't matter if you've been in the market for 5 years or 10 years. I mean, technically, right? The market is ever adapting. So you always have to be learning new things. You need to be learning what the market is about right now. That's partially why, for example, I know from experience that I have a statistical disadvantage when I trade stocks under $1. But back whenever, I think it was like November, we had a period where stocks under $1 were performing extremely well. I recognized this and I was willing to test sub $1, even though I knew I had a disadvantage there, mainly because I'm trying to learn. I'm always trying to learn. Definitely a market for financial education for kids. It's needed big time. Well, not just like for the stock market, but just general knowledge in general, right? For like credit cards, for 401ks, for investing, for budgeting. A lot of people don't really know how to budget. And I see a lot of people I know living paycheck to paycheck, and it's not disappointing. It is a little bit, but like it's more depressing because I want to see good for everybody. And seeing people deciding to have kids when they have like 3 cats and they're just like living paycheck to paycheck, it's sad. I don't fully blame them either because I know that the economic situation in the world is not great. So I don't fully blame them either. But it's just very unfortunate the way the world is right now. And I feel like it's going to get worse. All right, that's part of why I'm doing the YouTube thing too, you know? Like I'm trying to grow a community, trying to get into other things because I have what I'm doing to make money with the swing trading, but I'm trying to make day trading work to get an extra income source. And if on top of this, I could even maybe monetize the stream, you know, just do mid-roll. No, I wouldn't do mid-roll, but maybe ads on the recaps, but just other things to get extra income. Not selling courses though. You will take me to the grave before I am selling out for money. Hey guys, actually though, I'm thinking about making this crypto coin. I'm just kidding. No. I'm just kidding. Look at Amex. Yeah, sub $1 stock. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though. Like stocks, they'll do this. I'd say there is a probably like 70% chance that this ends at low of day by the end of the day. You just look at the statistical likelihood this stock is on a death spiral. The odds that this thing breaks out meaningfully and holds are low. Meme coin. No, 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 no. No meme coins. I did back maybe like 5 or 10 years ago, back whenever like the NFTs and the coin hype was real. I thought about making a coin, not even for like trying to make money, just for fun, because I was like actually looking to do it for fun. But I saw how people were getting burned so bad, and it's like you got the crypto zoo with Logan Paul. It's so terrible. Like, I think Bitcoin's cool. I think Ethereum's cool. Every other cryptocurrency is questionable. I'm sure there's some good ones that I'm just not aware of. But yeah, in general, I think cryptocurrency is only good for preserving wealth. And I don't see much. Anything beyond that feels like it's gambling beyond day trading. And I don't even know how that's possible, to be gambling more than day trading. But somehow swing trading or doing anything with crypto really that isn't just buy and hold Bitcoin feels like either a scam or just a very big gamble. Time to pump Capcoin. Yeah, that's right. Volume Gang meme coin. Exponential gains. It'll be exponential gains until it reaches peak. Then it'll be exponential losses. Agreed, Bitcoin isn't a class of its own. Yeah, Bitcoin's the only one that I have and trust. Wish I would have bought some back when it was at like 16,000 or whatever. Yep, exponential gains. All money for the creator. Everyone else dead. Yeah. Or the snipers, right? I know there's like snipers. I don't know how they work, but like it's like the moment they launch, the snipers buy them or whatever. But yeah, we're at 9 o'clock. We'll give it 5 minutes. We'll see if I get anything that comes out here. If nothing comes, then I'm probably just going to bail. Only one trade, but realistically, if there's nothing worth trading, I need to stick with what is only worth trading. Let's see here. PAVS looks like it might be moving. By the way, Cap, you look good in a bikini. Oh, thank you. Working on the logo on Grok right now, but it's limiting my queries. Something about nudity. Oh, God. Yeah, this did have news at the 45 mark. Kind of has been creeping up. 10,000 volume isn't terrible. What is the float? Very low flow. Was this a reverse split recently? 1 for 100 reverse split on December 16th. Yeah, you can see this thing rugged super, super hard. And it's been underwater ever since. Oh my, holy crap. So I thought this was the rug. No, no, no. This was part 1 of the rug. This was part 2 of the rug. Oh my God. So they rugged super hard, reverse split, and then they rugged super hard again. And now they've done a 1 for 100 reverse split. That's diabolical. GP. Yeah, you said GP. I didn't realize that was a ticker you were calling out. My bad. Yeah, this is moving. Okay, we have news. Receives 5 million. Award. No, this is good news, actually. Hold on. This is good news. 3 million. It's a low float. Hmm. Yeah, low float, good news. This has potential. Also very high volume. You can see how this was bought up almost immediately. People identified it. Let's see if we get a pullback. I don't really want to buy the highs. Yeah, it didn't really even give a pullback. GP is restricted, can't short it. Let's see. Let's see if this gives a pullback. Yeah, that might have been the opportunity to buy. Shortable and Weeble. So the reason I hesitated there is looking at the level 2, this is not a 3 million share stock. The float was raised at some point. That made me hesitate. Honestly, that would have been a really good entry too. We'll see. Huge volume. The AVS also curling. This might already be up too much. AVS. Really nice breakout with it. Yeah, what's throwing me off with GP is just that the float is so high. They also had financing very recently as well. right? Announces $10 million financing. So really recently, they have essentially made a downwards pressure. So that might offset some of this. The fact that this is having huge volume and not really moving much here. Another red flag. Descending volume. I will say, though, at least from the chart pattern itself, it looks incredibly bullish. This is a very picture-perfect bull flag. Anyone who bought this 1 minute high, at least they could have made some profit. I don't know. I still am hesitant to trust this. Yeah, so you had a breakout and then a hard rejection. High volume, too. I don't know if I trust GP. Had I bought here on this pullback, that was low volume at the bottom of this pullback, that would have been a nice hit. $14. Yeah. PAVS also curling and breaking out here. Very unclear. You had high volume on this pullback. Super high volume. And now with it holding and curling, you have lower volume. So this looks bearish to me. I wouldn't be able to tell you the short info. You'll have to get it. Yeah, okay, you're asking them, not me. Yeah, I wouldn't know where to find the short info. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to call it here. I gotta get ready to go here. PAVs and GP both look interesting. Those would be the ones I'd be looking at. They're both still holding up relatively well. PAV's really breaking away here. But yeah, I gotta go here. So I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be back on Monday for day 3. I'll go ahead and make the recap for today in a little bit. Only one trade, so nothing too crazy. But yeah, you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys